Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We're going to look at the Junkyard Dog. I think this might be part 2 or part 3 of the Junkyard Dog story, and I think Jack is going to start us off.
November the 19th, 1977, in Tennessee, Leroy Rochester defeated Gene Spurlock. November the 20th, Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Leroy Rochester defeated Mike Jackson. And then on the 23rd at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, Leroy Rochester defeated Dennis Hall. And then on the 27th, Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga, Tennessee again, Leroy Rochester defeated Arvil Hutto. And then on the 30th of November, Tennessee State Fairgrounds Arena, Nashville, Leroy Rochester defeated Bearcat Brown by countout. And then December the 7th, Tennessee State Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, Leroy Rochester versus Pez Watley ended without a winner as a time limit draw. And then on the 17th, somewhere in Tennessee, Tojo Yamamoto, Bearcat Brown, and Pez Watley versus Gypsy Joe, Lanny Poffo, and Leroy Rochester ended without a winner as a time limit draw. And then on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, Tennessee State Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester defeated Mike Pappas and Mike Sarah. I guess that's how you say it. And then also on the 25th, Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester defeated Pez Watley and Bearcat Brown. Title change for the NWA Mid-American Tag Team Championship. Championship Wrestling live from Chattanooga on December the 31st. WDEF Channel 12 Studios in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Tojo Yamamoto and Bobby Eaton versus Buzz Tyler and Leroy Rochester ended without a winner as a no contest. And then December 31st, Memorial Auditorium, Tojo Yamamoto, Butch Thornton, Bobby Eaton defeated Billy Hines, Buzz Tyler, and Leroy Rochester. And then January the 4th, Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Leroy Rochester and Gypsy Joe, the champions, defeated Bobby Eaton and Lanny Poffo. And then January the 10th, 1978, Birmingham, Alabama, Pez Watley and Lanny Poffo defeated Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester. January the 14th of 78, back in Nashville, Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester defeated Dennis Hall and Mike Jackson. And that was a title defense for the NWA Mid-American Tag Team Championship. January the 14th, Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga, Lanny Poffo and Pez Watley defeated Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester for the NWA Mid-American Tag Team titles. January the 21st, 1978, Nashville, Tennessee, Leroy Rochester defeated Eric Embry. January the 21st, Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga, Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester defeated Lanny Poffo and Pez Watley to, I guess they recaptured the Mid-American Tag titles there. I can't really tell. 2 out of 3 falls a tape fist match.
All right. So we're going to pick up there in February the 1st, 1978, the Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville as Pez Watley defeating Leroy Rochester in a Texas death match. Back at the Fairgrounds Arena again in Nashville on February 15th, 1978, Tojo Yamamoto defeated Leroy Rochester. Memorial Auditorium, February the 19th, 1978, is Andre the Giant defeating Leroy Rochester. Birmingham on February the 20th, 1978, is Tojo Yamamoto and Joey Rossi defeating Leroy Rochester and the Alaskan. And then on the Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville on February 22nd, 1978, is Ox Baker and Leroy Rochester defeating Pago Pago and Pez Watley. They're back in Birmingham on February 27, 1978. It's Haystacks Calhoun and Tojo Yamamoto defeating Ox Baker and Leroy Rochester. Fairgrounds Sports Arena, Nashville, Tennessee on March the 8th, 1978. It's Dutch Mantel and Lanny Poffo defeating Leroy Rochester and Cal Leon. back at the TV studios at WDF TV 12 in Chattanooga on March the 18th, 1978. Lanny Poffo and Bobby Eaton defeated Leroy Rochester and the Masked Marvel. And then we go back to Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga on March the 31st, 1978. Leroy Rochester defeated Oxbaker in a Texas death match. Then we go to the Fairgrounds Sports Arena in Nashville on April the 5th, April 5th, 1978. Joey Rossi defeated Leroy Rochester. Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga on April the 8th, 1978. The Bounty Hunter and Leroy Rochester defeated Tojo Yamamoto and George Weindroff. Or excuse me, they didn't defeat him. It was a time limit draw. Then we go to the Birmingham. It's on the April the 17th, 1978. Luthez defeated Leroy Rochester. Fairgrounds Sports Arena on April the 19th, 1978. It's Tojo Yamamoto and George Gulas defeating the Bounty Hunter and Leroy Rochester. And that match was for the NWA Mid-America Tag Team Championship. Then it comes up at the Memorial Auditorium on April the 29th, 1978. Tojo Yamamoto and George Gulas defeating Leroy Rochester and the Masked Brown Bomber. Jack?
Wasn't me.
Jack,
I was
you
blonde
there?
bomber.
Oh, it's a blonde. I'm sorry.
Blonde.
I thought this might be before you were blonde. It could be just the blonde. Okay, anyway. Memorial Auditorium, Chattanooga on May the 7th, 1978. Tojo Yamamoto and Jerry Barber defeated the Viking and Leroy Rochester. And then, of course, in August, he would make his way to Germany, where he would wrestle as Sylvester and Jack Ritter. In October, he would become Big Daddy Ritter and make his way to Stampede Championship Wrestling for Stu Hart.
I'm going to tell you, there were some great matches and some great people that he got to wrestle during this time. Why they chose Leroy Rochester, I don't know. Does anybody know why they came up with that name?
Rochester was a name on one of the old serial shows from back in the 50s.
Jack Benny Show?
Jack Benny Show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I seem to remember him telling me that that's where that came from.
I love this photograph of him as Lee. This is during his Chattanooga run, as he is Leroy Rochester at this point. There is another photograph I want to show from a Scott Till program. As you see, the Slamogram, Liebe Lanny seeks tag title, and you see down there the Mid-American Tag Team Champions, Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester. Also on that picture, Pistol Pez Watley and a very young Bobby Eaton in this thing. And this says, hey, this was 35 cents. This program was at the time.
Was this is this the Nashville program here?
I think this is the Nashville program. Yes, we'd have to read that whatever it says on there, but I believe it was Nashville. And this was done by, I'm pretty sure it was Scott Teal, who was doing this program at the time. And here's a picture, and you know what? I had the name of the guy that he was wrestling against right here, but I cannot remember now who he was. I had it wrote down, but here is a poster that actually Len Rossi had up. In his he was either in his house or it was at his place where he sold but you see the main event was Len Rossi and Joey Rossi against Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester. Don Ross, Mr. America, I don't remember him. Do y'all remember him?
I do remember him. He was terrible.
That's why the rest of us don't remember him.
He was a bodybuilder, and that's all he was. He would do these posing routines, and the interview was not any good, and neither was the wrestling.
Yeah, he went against Buzz Tyler.
I'm sure Buzz.
And anybody that was Don Ross's friends, I'll just to say hello to the one of you. That's about it.
Randy Savage, look at that Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh yeah, he is going against Pistol Pez Watley on the opening match.
How much was the ringside was what, 350? General admission 250. Is that what it is?
I think so. I think that's here. And here it is. It says Slater takes victory on Pro Wrestling Card. It was a night full of wild controversy Saturday at the Memorial Auditorium, in which one man won by pin, but was later ruled the loser, and another lost, but retained a championship. In the main event, Georgia NWA champ Stan Hansen was clearly losing to Dick Slater, but managed to toss Slater over the top ring ropes and was disqualified. However, disqualification does not force the forfeit of a title. Earlier, Buzz Tyler had pinned Tojo Yamamoto. The decision was later reversed because Tyler had used the ring ropes to pin his foe. In a tape fist match, Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester, Junkyard Dog, by the way, for those people who are just maybe tuning in with us right now, won a disputed 2 out of 3 battle from Leaping Lanny Poffo and Pistol Pez Wadley, and Randy Savage made his Chattanooga debut and beat Ben Alexander, while Pago defeated Chief Thundercloud, Bobby Eaton, and the Alaskan battled to a draw.
And we were there.
Yes, we were.
We were there.
We were there because Georgia Championship Wrestling during this point in time was sending talent to Nick Gulas each and every Saturday night. They had just started coming on Channel 3. And so Nick Gulas would use that to his advantage and bring those guys in and it looked like they might have been the main event for the night.
And this match that we were talking about is pretty much a return match between Stan Hansen and Dick Slater.
Here's another title grudge match on Auditorium card. The title match and return grudge battle head tonight's pro wrestling card, promoted by Nick Gulas and Harry Thornton at the Auditorium. Atlanta, Stan the Lariat Hansen, the champion, and Dick Slater battle for the Georgia heavyweight title in the main event. Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester. They spelt that different on this newspaper, Ed. Leroy Rochester, who lost the Mid-American Crown to Leaping Lanny, and Chattanooga's own Pistol Pez Wadley last week get a chance at revenge. All 4 will have their face taped. 4 other bouts are set. The program starting at 8 p.m. That was just the card that we just went through, didn't he? And by the way, Chief Thundercloud would be accompanied by his drummer, boy, Chewy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I always love that. He'd get beat down, and that drummer boy would start hitting those drums. He'd start doing the dance and chop, chop. Great.
He was that thing. All right, here we go. Newspaper ad. Professional wrestling at the Coliseum Friday night, March 10th, 8 p.m. I believe this is Huntsville, Alabama. Main event, NWA ordered rematch. The Mid-American Heavyweight Championship match. Randy Savage, the champion, against Bobby Eaton. Main event, Battle of the Century. Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester. They spelled that different that time, too. Leroy Rochester versus Andre the Giant, the 8th wonder of the world, and the country boy, Haystacks Calhoun. I would have paid money to see that.
Well,
Bounty Hunter #1 against Dutch Mantel, Pago. Is that how you say that? Pago?
Yeah, that's right.
Versus Lanny Poffo, Chief Thundercloud against Joey Rossi, and followed all matches. 12 men off the top rope battle royal featuring Andre the Giant and Haystacks Cow. I wonder who won that one.
Andre.
You think he's the one that threw the big country boy Haystacks Calhoun out of the ring?
I would say that Haystacks went under the rope. Couldn't get back in the ring. They counted him out. Will we get letters on that one? Will we get emails?
Maybe. Here we go. We're going to talk about NWA Championship Wrestling.
No.
National Wrestling Alliance.
Oh, that'll drop.
King George Body Slammers against Shelbyville's All Stars. Big old basketball match. Now look at the participants who had to battle in this thing. You know they love this. The Mass Marvel, I don't know who that would have been. Ben Alexander, Pistol Pez Wadley, Randy Savage. I mean, these are the matches on there. All seats were $3, by the way. They had plus 3 exciting wrestling matches. So they had that King George's Bod Slams against the Shelbyville All-Stars first. This is what, when you talk about a territory dying, this is the reason.
This is the beginning. And can you imagine this? Look at the name. Look at the name, right? On the night, you got George Gulas, Tojo Yamamoto, Leaping Lanny Poffo, Dale Mann, and the fabulous Jackie Fargo. How in the world did they get Jackie to participate in a basketball game? That's what I got to.
And by the way, he didn't wrestle on this card because they only had 3 plus 3 exciting wrestling matches.
Maybe he was the manager.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's kind of like watching the roller derby.
Here we go. NWA Championship Wrestling, Chattanooga, Tennessee, on Sunday, January 8th, 1978. Gypsy Joe and Leroy Rochester against Lanny Poffo and Pez Wally. Mr. Wrestling 2 and Black Atlas. For those folks, that is Tony Atlas against Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen. Buzz Tyler versus Tojo Yamamoto. Butch Thornton goes against Mark Roberts. And Bobby Eaton against Joey Rossi. That is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, the Memorial Auditorium. Great card, by the way. And here we go, Chattanooga, Tennessee, February 4th, 1978, National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship match. Harley Race, the champion, against Leapin' Lanny. By the way, people, that is Leapin' Lanny Poffo. NWA Mid-America Heavyweight Championship, Randy Savage against Pez Wally. Then we had Gypsy Joe, Leroy Rochester, and Bad Boy Hines against Bobby Eaton, Butch Thornton, and Tojo Yamamoto. The Kurt and Carl Von Steiger against Pago and Chief Thundercloud, and Mr. Pro against Dutch Mantell. You know, I would figure they were drawing pretty decent during this point in time. Some good cards in during this point in time. Gulas Pro Wrestling, Wednesday, November 30th. Main event, Return Grudge NWA Mid-America Tag Team Match. George Gulas and Tojo Yamamoto against Leapin' Lanny Poffo and Gypsy Joe. Coal Miners match, loaded glove on a 10-foot pole in the corner. Cowboy Frankie Lane. Boy, you don't hear much of him, but, man, he was a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah.
Good.
Against the Hollywood Blonde, Jerry Brown and Don Kent. Against the Hollywood Blonde, Dick Roberts. I think that was Buddy Roberts, wasn't it?
Right.
He went as Buddy Dick Roberts at the time. Tag match, Buzz and Rip Tyler with manager Bad Boy Hines against Chief Thundercloud and Joey Rossi. Leroy Rochester against Bearcat Brown. Wow. Man, this is bringing back a lot of memories. Yep. But I don't remember. I'm really honest. When I saw Junkyard Dog, I did not remember him wrestling in Chattanooga, though. I just don't remember it. Did you remember it, Jack?
I don't remember him being there. I mean, we talked about it, but he and I, but I don't remember him being there.
Here's another one. This is the Wednesday night, March 15th, Fairgrounds Arena. Main event tag team match, Ox Baker and Randy Savage against Haystacks Calhoun, Dutch Mantell. Main event tag team match, Gypsy Joe and the Bounty Hunter #1 against Tojo and Lanny Poffo. Leroy Rochester against Bobby Eaton. Carolina Kid against Fuzzy Cupid. Count Leon versus Pago. Look at old Ox Baker in that picture there. And our last one, there's Don Ross. There's Mr. America and Mr. World 1977.
You know, I remember that picture.
That's as good as it gets right there.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Dog hadn't been working long at this point. I bet that wasn't a good match.
It may not. It might have been just hopefully just a power slam, and that was about it. I don't know.
Main event return.
That's a battle of the year.
Yeah, I see that. I see that battle. Mr. America, Don Ross. I just do not remember this guy. Len and Joey Rossi against Buzz and Rip Down. Now this was when Len came back out of retirement, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
For this, I mean, he had been out of wrestling for many years. I think up to this point. So, grudge tag team match: Don Kent against Gypsy Joe, Angelo, Leapin' Lanny Poffo and the Medic against Pistol Pez Wally, Bearcat Brown and Bobby Eaton. Hey, Bobby Eaton got to wrestle twice on this show against the Medic, plus 2 big single matches. Just not single matches. There's 2 big single matches.
The only thing was missing was a tremendously important basketball game. That would be what would add to that card.
Oh, man. All right, folks, if you enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page. Go one step further. Hit that notification bell.
Hey, Vince, that's what you're missing. You need to put a basketball game before your show.
Oh, don't. They already did that with the Street Profits, so don't get them to go start it.
Yeah,
They'll have that
let's
every
do
night.
it. Come on, let's do it again.
Let's see where's at. I don't know where I was at, but you know,
share
the video, and we'll do other videos on the Junkyard Dog. Sylvester Ritter. By this time, he's not the Junkyard Dog yet. There is a time in this time that I cannot find that he does become the Junkyard Dog, and he teams with Norvell Austin in Southeastern Championship Wrestling. But I have not yet been able to find where he wrestled on anything. There's a couple of posters I did find, but very small stuff, and it may be in between this time he goes to Canada. But if you enjoyed it, we hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much. And we'll see you right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out as we continue our look at the Junkyard Dog's career.